Now I'm going to show you how we're going to put this together. So I have my sewing needle case here. I'm going to use a smaller needle, and I'm also going to use thread for this instead of the embroidery floss. I don't need something that thick. I want it kind of more thin. So I'm going to I do want it double, because I do want this to be pretty strong, because we're going to put some stuffing in there. So I'm going to double it up, make a knot. All right, and then for these, I need to flip this over. Okay, so I have the outsides out. So I'm going to put the good side, the inside, or the good side, I mean, on the inside. All right, now we are going to sew all the way around until we get about here. So we're going to leave a little bit of a gap, because that's how we're going to stuff it. All right, so I'm going to just start. Oops, that's probably, yeah, we'll start from there. It might be harder for me to stuff this, because I did it a little bit too close to the edge. All right, now I can do a running stitch. So if you remember that, just up, down, up, down, up, down. That's fine. But if I'm doing that, I want my stitches to be really close together. So this might be actually too far apart. If I were to open this up, okay, the stitches might not stay together. So I want these stitches to be nice and tight. And close together. Oops. Now, that's something that's good that happened. So I made a mistake. I went through the wrong side, and now I have the thread going all the way around. That's not good. That's not what I was supposed to do. So there are two ways to try to fix that. This is a kind of a difficult way. You can try to go through exactly the same hole, which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. Let's see. Nope, didn't work. Maybe if I pull it. Nope, didn't work. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take this thread off of my needle, and I'm going to have to undo uh-oh. Well, I did a really good job of getting that really tight. I might have to cut the whole thing here. And that's okay. We can mess up. That's what we're doing here, is practicing. Wow, that was really something else. So actually, I'm just going to pull out this whole thing. Start over. Okay? So I could edit that out and not show you guys, but what would the point of that be? All right? Let's see. Need to get some more thread, though. Here it is. I'm going to thread my needle again. Line this up because I want it double thick, because I want this to be nice and strong. There we go. Got my knot. Line this up again. I'm going to start on this side, actually. And I can continue with that running stitch. With them nice and close together. So I'm making nice small stitches close together. But the stitch that's even better would be a back stitch. Okay, so I've showed you that one a lot. So that one you go back to the hole right before it. And that's going to give you a really nice, strong stitch so that your seams don't come undone when we turn this inside out. Because we need to turn it inside out in order to stuff it. So I'm going to continue all the way around. One. And black thread so that you can see it. But if I wanted this to be invisible, really, really invisible, I would use thread the same color as my fabric. So I would use white. But if I used white thread, I don't think you guys would be able to see it. So here I am at the end, but I don't want to sew all the way there because I need to leave room for the stuffing. So I'm just going to turn this over, do a little knot here. Now I'm going to turn this inside out, which might be a little bit challenging, okay, because this thing is really little. So it's actually better if you make your things maybe a little bit bigger. So I might need to use a tool to help me turn this inside out here. And see, that black thread will show. So it's better if you use a color that is similar. I'm going to just use this little tool here to help me turn this inside out. There we go. Oops. So that means my stitches weren't strong enough on that side if that thing went through. All right. So here's the little guy. Now I got to fill him up with some stuffing. So I have some stuffing here. Starting to look like a little cloud. All right, I've got him stuffed. Now I have to close up that hole. So I'm going to take my thread again. Again, you would not want to use black because this is going to show up a lot, but I want you guys to be able to see. So I'm going to start. My knot's going to be on the inside then. And I'm going to put these together. And then I'm going to do a whip stitch. So that means I'm going to go through like that. So I'm closing these two sides together here. I'll just tie a knot. And there we go, a little stuffed sculpture. So I'll show you. I'm gonna put these together. Remember, right to right. So I'm gonna have the right side on the inside. Right. I'm gonna sew all the way around here, leaving some room, probably at the tail. I'll probably leave that open. That seems like the easiest to turn inside out and then sew the rest of it. And I'll show you that step in the end. Finally, we have here the completed dove. You can see I left a little opening there to stuff it. So now I'm going to get my stuffing. I'm going to start at the very edges here and then work my way in. So, and I will probably use a tool to help me get all the way down there. So I'll just use this little bamboo skewer to get that stuffing all the way down there so I can kind of feel where that's at, how I'm doing. Okay, I can take my next piece of stuffing. All right, so that wing's pretty stuffed. I'll start on the next wing. I'm going to continue stuffing this and then sew that up like I showed you on the other one. Okay, so I'll just do a whip stitch, and there we go.